Welcome viewers wherever you are. This is the Cardinal Talk Show coming to you on LTN as usual at this very particular moment. Like we do it every day, I'm with panelists here who are going to discuss with me the aspects of the demonstrations that actually have rocked the Kenyan nation for quite some time now over the Iebc impasse. Now, a lot of questions have been thrown here and there. People asking, has CORD really achieved its objectives with the demonstrations so far? And then, were there deliberate attempts by the police to focus and want to harm people from Nyanza and explicitly the Luo nation? With me to discuss this, it's this very able panel here of Mr. Gitonga Wadhanga, Starehe CORD, ODM number 1. Karibu sana.
Asante Nick.
Director Ojayo, for a long time you've been away. Yes. Welcome back to the show.
Here I am.
You are here now. Yeah, Jubilee is still very okay.
Very okay.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Anthony Jaraganya, of course, I can't reach you, but we're with you in this. Thank you. I know you are a patriotic Kenyan, and you say you are a patriot number 1.
Thank you very much. That's me.
Good. Now, just to kick off this discussion, we have witnessed quite momentous things happening in this country, and more so to speak, is the demonstrations. Now, CORD must have had an objective with these demonstrations. Up to this far we've come, have they really achieved any of their objectives in your assessment? Do we begin by the CORD fraternity member who is here, or we begin by anybody else? Let me give the benefit of beginning.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. Yes, I would say CORD has achieved one of the objectives. Okay. Because it has created now the debate about Iebc. Now we are talking about Iebc, and we are looking now at Iebc critically. And whereas before, when we were talking about Iebc, we were just being ignored. But so far, this is an issue now that everybody accepts. It's something that we need to debate or to dialogue about.
So you are happy an agenda has come up, an agenda has been created?
Yes, precisely so.
Yes, Samson, in your own observation, an agenda indeed has been created here. Do we say now CORD has actually managed to bring people on the table, either willingly or unwillingly?
I don't know what they wanted to achieve, because you are asking if they have achieved. I don't know what CORD wanted to achieve, because at the end of the day, it's them actually who went down the street running. It's them who have called it off. So I don't know whether they've achieved or not. And in fact, I should not be care. I don't care to know whether they have achieved or not.
In your own assessment, yes. Things have happened. There's been a lot of mass action and all that.
Yes.
In any way or the other, something must have happened.
If the achievement is by creating confusion, then they have achieved.
Yeah.
Because in fact, some people have died, so they are going to bury the dead, because actually CORD called for that. So if that is part of the achievement, then they have achieved. But in terms of removing Isakasan, the only thing which can be done is not through demonstration, is through actually following the channel in terms of the legal aspect.
Not
they have
dialogue.
laid down, even the dialogue outside actually the structure of the constitution. That's a different kind of thing. And I remember after 2010, we created these offices, and those actually, which is within the constitution. If we want to get rid of Asakasan and his team, we must follow the constitution. There will be no shortcut. Even if you go sit down today, there will be no shortcut.
Anthony, to you, sir, in your own assessment, has CORD achieved anything here?
I think we must ask ourselves, why did CORD start this conversation? And one thing that it is clear to all Kenyans, that the question that they posed to Iebc is, one, have you done an audit on 2013 election? 2, what do we talk about? What is the position of the country and Iebc in regards to Chicken Gate? 3, the scrupulous employees of Iebc who declared people who have lost an election and declared them the winner. Particular case in point is Madari, where the person who actually got more votes was declared to be the loser. The person who got less vote was declared to be the winner. And it went to court, and you know how what happened. 4 is, do Kenyans have confidence in the Iebc the way it is constituted now? If CORD has brought in a situation where we can debate those issues, then they've actually achieved the intention why they started this demonstration. But then, in the process, we've also seen the violation of human rights in the country. And to the point that people are asking, do we still follow the constitution that we have? You look in article, the first article, the preamble of our constitution. We say, we hold this to be self-evidence, that all men are created equal, and they have some unalienable right, that they're not given those rights by the government or by any other human being, but those rights are given to them by God himself, the Creator. The question then we ask ourselves, did Jubilee, the government, infringe on the citizens' right or not? Yes.
That's quite legal, and it's heavy in its interpretation, I should say. But then let's look at the entire outcome of these demos. Really, talking about pushing Iebc out and also wanting a platform for dialogue. I don't see if much has actually been achieved, because Jubilee still holds the opinion that this thing has to go, just like you say, through the constitutional channels that are out there. Code says no, we can't go through that means, because if it's parliament, we've tried and failed.
Nick, I want to say this. Nick, I mean it. No, I mean it. That is what Code is saying. Yeah. And that's what I'm simply saying. Also, I saw there was a news conference yesterday where Orengo was talking about they want to meet with the topmost. You get the point? The topmost do not have power. Whether you go in the State House, meet with Uhuru Kenyatta, we will only tell you went there to take tea. But when you want actually to deal with the constitutional issues, follow the right channel. We remember the other day, why do we actually sit down and actually lie to ourselves? When President Uhuru Kenyatta came up with the idea of employing 10,000 police officers in this country, the same people who are down the street were saying, no, it is beyond your reach. You cannot employ, because the constitution said A, B, C, D. Why is it that now, because you know the constitution, these people down the street, they know the constitution. So that's what I'm simply saying. It is not about just dialogue for the sake of dialoguing. It's about actually following the constitution to the latter. And if they are writing a constitution because they thought that they are going to take power so that they could actually manage the country the way they wanted, now it has happened. Actually, it's now the other way around. Whereby the people who are not part of that constitutional making are the one in power.
There's a misconception here that court is not doing things constitutionally. If there is anyone that is following the constitution, definitely it's court. And there is no one time that court has asked the president or an individual for that matter to disband Iebc. What court is asking of the president when you talk about the top person is for him to whip his sycophants in parliament, towards an agreed agenda. What we are saying about dialogue is this is an issue really that cannot really be solved in parliament. Parliament mostly what they do there is debate. Just go there, debate and argue. We want to agree on a situation where such that when we agree outside the house, involving all the stakeholders, it's then taken to parliament, whereby they endorse it.
I think also there's a feeling, Anthony, here that Parliament is not all representative of people. They talk about the church that is not represented in Parliament, the civil society that is not represented in Parliament. But again, if you look at this thing, it's two sides of the same coin, because Parliament is a people's representative. But then now, we still say that, we still hear them say that we would love to see every stakeholder brought on board. What is this stakeholder thing here?
But for me, Nick, I respectfully disagree with what you're saying, that Parliament does not represent everyone. I think it does. But what happens? How do we make laws in the country? Sometimes a law can be made from members of Parliament bill. It can also come from a private member, private as a citizen who proposes a change of bill, and it is debated in Parliament. And particularly in regards to Iebc, we remember Wafula Buke, who actually brought in a petition and said, look, let's disband this commission because of those issues that I've raised. The Parliament actually threw that suggestion out. So anybody who wanted to go through Parliament would not achieve anything. I think that's why court decided, look, let's try to have a conversation out of Parliament, and then after we have exhausted this conversation, then we will take it to Parliament for endorsement. Has it ever been done before? Yes, the judicial president for it. The Anana Court, it was discussed out of Parliament, And after the discussion, it was taken to Parliament for ratification.
I agree.
In 92, when we were appealing the Section 2A, this is something that was discussed outside Parliament. I remember even Moi asking people to go to Kasarani Stadium, which was headed by Saitoti. And actually, people like Saitoti refused to the appealing of Section 2A. But then, Moi, the agreement was done outside Parliament. Then it was taken to Parliament for ratification. And I am a finance person. Let me tell you how we make things like finance bill. What happens is, when you want to do a finance bill, you actually, the stakeholder, the ISPAC, the members of ISPAC, they sit down, they come up with the bill. The tax expert come up with a bill, they discuss it outside Parliament, then you take it to Parliament, and then Parliament ratify it. I think that is what CORD is trying to do.
No, those are two different things, Nick.
So what do you think?
Nick, number one, he's talking about this
finding a common ground.
If finding a common ground, I mean it. If you want to find a common ground, you don't come with tough conditions. You must actually is a give and take. Could have seen the reason as to why Iebc must go, simply because they failed 2013. That is the bottom line. Which now they are trying to hide under the
that's the reason.
Of course, that's the reason. Number two, one thing which is not actually, maybe people are shying away to tell. Purely, actually, Baba is a dictator. And the nature of a dictator is, in fact, to create a synergy for 2017 election. That is why, even if you bring a serious kind of a discussion now, he will come with a tough condition to make sure that that discussion is not there. Because when you go down the street, you create another synergy which can propel you for 2017. Like now you are saying that they have called it off. Raila has not called it off. He's going back to another strategy. Because some people are saying from the government now people can sit down, some also from court can sit down. He's coming with a strategy on how actually to thwart that idea of sitting down with the condition so that he can go down the street.
Again.
A populistic man is a man of the man who actually we know as Raila. That is what he's trying to create. So if you want actually people negotiations, you need Tony down.
Gitonga is banning here. Gitonga is banning here.
Let him go ban.
He's actually wrapping up everything.
These Jubilee people, they don't see anything. It's Raila.
But is that true?
There's Iebc is not about Raila. Okay, this is a CORD issue. And it's about the country. It has nothing to do with Raila as a person. Raila only happens to be the head of CORD.
What do you mean about CORD here?
But it only happens to be the head of CORD. The issues there, they are very pertinent, and generally, people in the country they don't trust the Iebc.
Who are these people in the country?
Generally, most.
Am I coming from Uganda? I'm a Kenyan and I trust Iebc.
What do you mean? You trust Iebc?
Yeah,
I trust Iebc.
Yes, but
I don't have problem with it.
You are in the minority.
Who said so?
You are. Everybody else.
Nick, let's put it into perspective.
Now,
why do Kenyans don't trust Iebc?
Who are the Kenyans?
When you look at the Parliamentary Account Committee report, in regards to a by-election that was supposed to take place in Gatundu, money was allocated for Iebc. That money, we know the by-election did not take place. Apparently, Moses Kuria became a parliament without any voting. That money has never been accounted for up to today.
Sure.
As we are speaking today, the Iebc that we have.
Do we have fast for that, Anthony? Do we have fast for that?
Yeah.
Just go log in, Parliamentary Accounts Committee. They have a website. Go check.
It's doing what? No, tell us. Tell people.
The problem with Kenyans, we don't take our time.
No, tell people actually. We want also to hear what you're saying.
Stop heckling
Hold on. This is serious, Samson. This is serious.
Now, we have an Iebc. As we're speaking, they don't have even a voters register. A single voter register.
You're changing what you're saying.
They're constantly varying. When you and you remember during the petition, when the Iebc was asked, give us one single voter register.
They didn't have.
Nick, let Jaragenya let us go back to Gatundu about the money issue. Is being alleged here in this program that actually the Gatundu money is not accounted for. Where did you get the facts?
Where did you get
Don't
the facts?
bring actually the CORD issues here.
No. If you look at the report for Parliamentary Accounts Committee, which is actually in Parliament,
He's saying
go
what?
read the
Public Accounts Committee.
It's saying what?
Just hold it. Stop heckling. When you read the report, This tells you that IEBC is unable to account for the money which was allocated for Gatundu by election.
Just one
Who said that?
constituency.
Yes.
Just one constituency
Yes.
for a by-election.
By election. The money was allocated for that by-election. As you're speaking now, IEBC has not accounted for that money.
Those
and
are
the by-election
propaganda
will not take
of the
place.
higher
Okay.
court.
That's
Anyway.
propaganda.
Those are propaganda
You can't
anyway.
refute. It says it's available on the website.
No. Those are propaganda.
Okay, I think before we just go to the break right now, I also want to look at this thing so critically because, even the way IEBC is right now, a lot of stones have been thrown at IEBC. Some friendly, some very fierce. That body as it is right now, seriously, can really IEBC go and conduct election, like let's say, for example, in Kisii?
Good question.
Can they go and send their personnel there and then work there peacefully? This is what we say now. Can IEBC now really conduct elections? Because there are places, cities that are not going to be friendly to them. They're going to,
As of now.
we not even have elections.
As
in
of
those
now.
places. Even in future.
No.
you're saying that.
As of now, if actually there's a by-election,
Yeah.
Kenyan IEBC will go and conduct the election. Yeah, because they are being protected with the constitution.
Yeah.
Because number one, it's about the parliament to declare, the speaker to declare that there's a vacancy somewhere.
Okay.
IEBC will conduct the election.
Conduct the
But
election.
if you ask me today, I would like actually IEBC now, if I was the president and I was Raila Odinga, actually to agree and talk with Hassan, because it's a matter of talking with them. They don't have power, those two people, to get rid of them, so if they can go home. Because actually Uhuru Kenyatta and Ruto do not need IEBC as a Hassan to win 2017 election. In fact, they are going to win.
They are going to win.
They are going to win. They are competing with who?
Okay, we are going for break.
Who are
we are
these
going
people?
for this break. I think Gitonga, I think Gitonga Wadhanga would be on your neck when we come back because
I
we can't
don't-
take that.
well,
we are going for break anyway. We are going for this break. But when you come back, gentlemen, let's get to this fact. Nyanza actually bore the biggest brunt of these demonstrations in terms of casualties. We are coming to discuss that. Was it deliberate or not? This is the Cardinal Talk Show. We are coming to you shortly. Please don't go away because it's beginning now to boil up here. Don't just move out of your position. Welcome back once again, viewers. If you're joining us right now, this is the Cardinal Talk Show that comes to you every Sunday at this particular time. Today we are discussing a very hot potato here. This is the IEBC. And perhaps also we must get to the fact that in Nyanza, the Nyanza leaders actually came out yesterday. Some of them actually were having evidences of spent cartridges that were used against demonstrators in Siaya and elsewhere in Nyanza. Now, was it a deliberate attempt by the police to aim the Luos? Was it deliberate? This is the question that we are coming to here. Gitonga Wadhanga, your guys, your supporters actually lost lives, and it's very unfortunate that it happened like that. However, was it deliberate?
Nick, if you go back even to 2000 and 2007 after the elections, you remember that most of the violence actually started from Kisumu and out here Kibera. And what actually brought in that violence mostly is because of the actions of the police. Because whereas people were demonstrating and maybe rioting here and there, they were not that violent. But the police when they came to quell the demonstrations and the riots, they started using live bullets immediately, and the killings actually started in Kisumu, and then a few in Kibera. 2007, and that is when now the other parts are caught up of the Rift Valley. It's rather obvious that the police have been targeting the strongholds of ODM, And that's this last Monday, you remember the police went and sealed off Kibera, that in the strongholds of ODM, that people could not come out. And it is now emerging that people who died there, they had bullets in their bodies. And if it's not that police that shot them, then they should come out and tell us who killed those people. And those were not. It was not accidental. Those were deliberate killings.
Mr. Samson, did you see a very systematic pattern here of actually CORD supporters and ODM supporters by actually having to bear the biggest brunt of these protests?
No, I want to say that number one, I'm not a person who believe actually in terms of police killing and all that. Remember, in this country, I'm one of the person in this country also, if we want to talk about young people, for 23 good years fighting a regime. I fought Moi regime, and I actually entered into so many cells and so many cases in this country. I don't support somebody, police being shooting, using that force. But to some extent, it's all over. That if actually, when the police life is in danger, he's talking about that who started to do what. Because some police actually were also became victim of the same thing. I don't want to say who started at what time and what happened. There are some things actually which the police and the people started now fighting in one way or the other. Which to me, investigation is still going on through IPOA. So I cannot sit here speculate of what is going to, the outcome will come. But what I'm saying,
lives were lost, you know that.
Lives were lost,
yeah.
But also the police were injured.
Yeah.
I'm saying that when we were demonstrating fight a regime, actually we became so much casualty as opposed to the police. If some people were throwing stone to the police, and in fact now it was a war, definitely the police will use excessive force. World over, not even here in Kenya. So let us not sit down here and lie to ourselves. Number two, it was not about picketing. It was not about actually demonstrating. It was not somebody telling you we are going to eject. What do you mean by rejecting somebody's office? It's being protected there. But if what happened in Mombasa, there were no casualty because Joho led a peaceful demonstration, took their petition to the office. Those are different from actually what Baba was leading here. Hooligans who actually wanted to eject somebody in the office. Remember in that building where Iebc, they are only actually renting that house. There are so many offices, people are doing their business. So when you are talking about your right, remember somebody seated somewhere has a right. So those are the kind of things. You cannot tell me we want actually to protect this law here, and when we are breaking it here, then now we are within the law. What do you mean?
So in your own opinion, you don't think the police actually were targeting Luos?
They were not targeting Luos. Okay. They were only targeting the people actually who now came actually and doing things outside the law.
Oh, thank you, Anthony. It's quite interesting now. In your own opinion, that's your county, I believe, where we had 2 people who passed away due to these demonstrations. Now, in your own assessment, do you think the police actually were provoked into acting in this? Or was it deliberate that these people from Nyanza or people from the CORD strongholds had to be silenced?
I think the police that we have in Kenya is a militia. It's not utumishi kwa wote.
Our police service can't be a militia, Anthony.
They are brothers, in fact. That's your brothers, actually.
and let me explain my facts.
Okay.
In Mombasa, Waterjaya says that Joho did a demonstration, gave his petition, and then walked away, and no one was injured. It's not true. I remember, and it was actually aired. In Mombasa, after the Joho had given their petition, there were tear gas and there were chairs and they were beaten. And in fact, 2 people were arrested. One of them, the speaker of Mombasa Assembly, Mr. Rajwai. Yes.
Being arrested.
So let's give facts and leave it for people to digest. And why are police being very violent? Their chief militia, who is the minister in Kaiseri. What did Nkaiseri say? Nkaiseri said...
Honestly, with all due respect...
yes, with the due respect, I respect you depending on how you speak. The minister Nkaiseri said that we are waiting for you. In fact, we have new tear gas.
It's true.
And we will work on you thoroughly.
And they are not even finished now.
The minister did not read the constitution and think that actually people have the right to picket. As a minister, he should have advised.
What was the statement, Nick?
Oji, I kept quiet.
Hold on, sir.
Not because I agreed with you, but because I respect you as a human being.
Okay.
No, the thing is,
Yes, Anthony, carry on.
The thing is, when the minister spoke like that, the policemen just became so agile, and they were thinking that they were protected by the minister's statement, not remembering they're actually acting under the law. Now, did the police direct their violence toward the law? I don't agree with that, because for me, I think the so-called police, whom I call the militia, they are actually were ready to to be violent and to use excessive forces to anyone, to everybody, without discriminating. And that's why you notice immediately 3 people had died, 2 in Siaya and 1 in Kisumu. The police decided, let us now use propaganda to say that the people are too violent, so we are airlifting 9 people to Nairobi West.
So
Hospital.
are you saying that the police were airlifting?
So it was a sarcasm.
When we have Aga Khan Hospital in Kisumu, we have Acacia in Kisumu, we have a referral hospital in Kisumu, we have Russia Hospital in Kisumu, we the police could actually be treated. And then you airlift them to Nairobi West Hospital, which even those police refuse to be treated. But then compare this. In Kapedo, when we lost 22 police officers, and some of them were injured, was there any airlifting of those police for a referral hospital in Kisumu? It did not happen.
Nick, I want to say this.
Serious comparative analysis here.
No, it's not comparative analysis. There are only people who are...
When Kenyans were attacked in Garissa, you know that we lacked the helicopter to transport the specialized police officer to go and stop the killing in Garissa because of a helicopter. But when it happened in Kisumu, all of a sudden the helicopter becomes available, the forces becomes available, the funds becomes available, and the 9 police are lifted to the Nairobi West Hospital.
So this is sarcasm.
Nick, I want to say this. Nick, I want to say this. Number one,
the
issue here, I don't want even to counter what he's saying, because in fact the viewers know exactly who Jaraganya is. He's good in actually lip service.
Do you think Samson, the police were injured in this?
No, the police were injured. No, a minute. Police were injured.
Okay.
And because actually Jaraganya is representing that which is negative, he must say that.
Okay.
You get the point? Because everybody saw police were injured. And the people also died. So let us not actually create this program only to do it for the sake of doing it, because we are discussing with this nation.
Yeah.
I don't support actually the killings. I don't support actually people fighting the police. But I believe that we need to read the law the way it is. When Gaiseri, according to him, misbehaving, Gaiseri was, even today, and I'll support Gaiseri on that. If you are saying that you are going to eject members of Iebc, if you are saying that, you will meet with the force. But if you are going to take a petition, and Gaiseri says that, we need to face him head on and ask Gaiseri, we are not here because of you. You get the point? These are 2 different things. Yes, if they wanted to, even tomorrow, if the police, if Raila can say that, no, we are going to this office to take a petition, and the police starting actually running down the street fighting people, then we need to ask, why are you doing this? You get the point? So those are the kind of things which, at what time you break the law this side, you want actually the government to protect to this side. What do you mean by that?
Mr. Gitonga, you guys, are you out to go and eject IBC commissioners, or you are specifically supposed to go and provide your petition for dissatisfaction with the commission?
Even if Nani had Ford had said they were going to eject, they would have waited and see, and for Raila to see them ejecting.
Wait and see.
Yeah.
Wait and
So
see.
The officers were there. They should have waited. They should have waited, given way. If they want to go and eject, you let them go and eject. But the issue is that is only propaganda. That is propaganda. Yes. What ejecting somebody from office physically it will not help. It will not help God. So God will not necessarily.
So you are
do
changing that posture.
No. They would not do that. Because it does not serve any. It does not serve any purpose. It's not a physical presence that we are that God is fighting. It's them occupying the office. Occupying is not necessarily the physical, okay, but it's the appointment. About the Rinin being targeted, the Ruo nation. I would say they were being targeted. You remember, there have been other riots in this. There have been riots in this country. There have been protests in this country. And a case in point is when in Githurai, where I think it was last year, they were protesting a policeman that was being who had murdered somebody and had been taken into custody. And there were protests on Thika Road for 3 days continuous. And they closed Thika Road for 3 days. The question is, how many people were killed there? Okay, they damaged property. And did they shoot anybody? No, they did not. The only person who died was one that was trying to run away from the police and ran into a dam and they drowned. Yeah. But the police then, and the same policeman, did not even shoot him.
Who told you that every demonstration people must die? Who said so?
But when people protest here, a peaceful protest, because it's in Kisumu, because it's in Siaya, then it is met with the brutal force.
Ideally, that's I mean, it's a worrying trend. It's a worrying trend anyway. But then
sounds nice, actually.
We leave that for the viewers also to actually digest and get out of it. Now, before we just conclude this program, CORD and let me say CORD. Is it a good idea for CORD to hold a parallel rally in Nairobi on 1st during the Madaraka Day celebrations? I mean, does it really augur well for our national good as a people of this country? Because national days must be respected. National days remain what they are. And now we are seeing a situation where in Nakuru we'll be having the national celebrations going on, and in Nairobi, CORD insists they are going to have a rally. And the subject of this rally still remains at large. Just a reaction, just less than a minute, please.
In our constitution, there is no time in the constitution that says that you cannot meet, talk on any particular day. Even on Sunday, on Friday, you can, even on a Christmas day, you can meet and talk.
In the interest of patriotism. You are a patriot.
Yes. And that was our constitution. So anyone who wants to misinterpret it, that's up to them.
I want to say this. I want to say that the way he's putting it actually is good for that. Yeah. Because that is how you read the law. Yeah. To see it actually you are wrongdoing.
The other way.
And that's what they are doing. Even they interpret it the way they want. And that's what actually tells you CORD are very good in rhetoric. They don't even believe in the constitution they fought for. They believe in creating confusion. If anything, they are the people who represent the darkness in this country. They don't represent any positive. It's all negative. They see only negative all the time.
Yes,
and let me tell you one thing. Even if you leave CORD to become the president, their presidential candidate will create another opposition. And he will lead that opposition.
A serious indictment to you
as
a CORD number one member. This is actually hard.
Just using too many words. Just using too many words to say nothing. Seriously.
Is it okay for you guys to go is it okay for you guys now? Gentlemen,
say something because I'm saying nothing.
For you guys to go to Uhuru Park and then the whole country also will be there in First Stadium actually celebrating a national holiday.
There's nothing wrong with the CORD having their meeting in this time anyway. And especially now that there will be no meeting in Nairobi, that the president has gone to his backyard. He's gone to watu yake. Okay, so he has abandoned Nairobi. Yeah.
And abandoned.
He has abandoned Nairobi. Now he has gone to. Now he has gone to his watu yake. Who is a Jubilee zone? It's Nakuru. Okay. Because if there was any city, any other town that really deserved, if he was not going to do it in Nairobi, definitely then he would have gone maybe to the second city or the third city, not to the fifth. Though you should have gone to either Kisumu or Mombasa.
So which law is that?
How
which
does
law
he?
is talking
Why
about
did he
where
choose?
to
Why did he choose? Why did he choose? Nakuru?
Because it's also a place actually. Like
because it's a Jubilee zone. He's going to his people. Now there's no reason why the CORD cannot. There's no reason why CORD here should not meet with the Kenyans.
Oh,
with the Kenyans, with the Kenyans in general. Huko anaenda kumit watu hapo na the neighbors.
Okay, guys. Now this program is coming to an end, guys, and there's nothing that we can. Oh God! Now, Anthony, you don't have any time here to speak.
Yeah.
What actually made news for you?
For me, what made news to me was police vetting in Mombasa, where a particular police was actually found to have transacted 100 million in his M-Pesa. Another thing is that some police officers cannot express themselves in English, so they can only speak in Swahili. And then lastly is when police actually decided to ask for forgiveness, that he's been taking bribe, and is asking for forgiveness, to be forgiven and to be allowed to continue to serve.
Good. I hope you not take much longer
Yes,
time than
yeah, but I'm talking, what made news actually is today's newspaper about the ruling of Mumbi. Ngugi. About the ladies who are going now, women are going to take advantage.
Deadbeat fathers, the absentee fathers who
yes, and in fact, I must be very careful because these women are going to take advantage. That you go.
And do you think the men are going to escape this? Because I believe all men
we
stand
need to work on them accordingly. In fact, it's very wrong.
That's great. Yes, Mr. Gitonga, as we wrap up this program, what made news for you?
To me, it's still the police brutality. Our police now have reached a new low in the history of this country. I don't think, I don't know, we need serious reforms. They have come out openly that they are serving other interests other than that of the mwenye nchi.
It's not utumishi kwa wote anymore.
It's not.
Okay, thank you, viewers, wherever you are. This has been the Cardinal Talk Show, and with me here has been a very, 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 very entertaining, informative, and actually very wonderful panel of people. Thank you very much, guys, for having gotten this time to be here with us. It's my pleasure to also want to wish you all, guys, a very, very, very good week as we begin the week next week. And for LTN viewers, this is the Cardinal Talk Show. Please do stay away any other time, because this is where we must do it the way we've done it just right here. So please keep it LTN always.